today we're going to have a look at completing the square. So to begin with, you need to remember and recognise the general way we write any quadratic, and we order it as ax squared plus bx plus c. Now you need to remember the formula for completing the square, and that's listed below. So you can see here that we would have to do x plus b divided by 2. Well, b is the number in front of the x, so it would be negative 8 divided by 2, which in this case would be negative 4 squared, minus that number squared, plus c, well that's the number at the end, which is our 5. We'd then simplify where possible, so we leave our square bracket, then we'd need to subtract negative 4 squared. Well, negative 4 times negative 4 is positive 16 plus 5. And then we just combine our two answers at the end. So we've got negative 16 plus 5, which is negative 11. Then we'd write down our values of a. Well, a must equal to 4 and b must equal to 11. Just be careful not to confuse your signs here because it's already got the negative signs in your answer. Question 2, we're going to follow the same process. So we halve the number in front of the x, we subtract that number squared, and then our part c just drags down. We simplify by squaring, and then we simplify by collecting our numbers at the end. So therefore a would equal to 2 and b would equal to 11. In our third question, do exactly the same process. So it'll be x minus 4, because we halved the negative 8, which is negative 4 squared. We then minus that negative 4 squared, and our c just goes on the end. We simplify by squaring out our bracket. Negative 4 times negative 4 is positive 16. And then we collect our terms. So it would become negative 16 plus 20, which is positive 4. So here you can see that a must equal to 4. Part B asks you to explain how you know that that is always positive. Well, if we drew the graph of this, we know that our minimum point is equal to 4, 4. Our x value comes from the bracket, and we have to make this bracket equal to 0. That will tell us what our x value is. So we've done x minus 4 is equal to 0, so x is 4. And then our y part, our y coordinate, is just this number at the end. And that stays the same. So if we just did a quick sketch of this, we know that our minimum point of our positive quadratic is at 4, 4. Therefore, we know that this equation must always be positive. Question 4, again, we halve the number in front of the x, we subtract that number squared, and we drag down our c part. We square out our bracket, we collect our like terms. A therefore must be 1, and b, just be careful here, is negative 8, because they've told you it's positive b, and we had the answer negative 8, we have to write on negative 8 there. Our fifth question, again, very similar. Once you've done this a few times, you'll get used to it. So we halve the number in front of the x, we minus that number squared, and we drag down our positive 9. We square. Just be careful when you square a negative number, it becomes positive. And then we collect together our terms. Negative 4 plus 9 is positive 5. So therefore a is negative 2 and b is 5. Again, just be careful with how they present the answer. Our final question, again, very similar process. Half the number in front of the x, minus that number squared, drag down your part c. Square out, you'd get negative 1. Negative 1 squared is positive 1, so that goes in our bracket. and then collect your terms. So you'd have -1 plus 2, which is +1. So to finish off, A therefore must equal to 1, and B also equals to 1.